So this is the last video here, and it's really short because it's just this. So once we've done the edge displace, we're going to promote the name onto the primitive, and then we're going to reassemble the pieces. And so what we have is the assembled pieces here, and the transformed pieces that they're coming out of adopts assembled here. Now what this retransform does, I'm pretty sure there's a transform pieces. This might work, but I don't use it because I'm not too familiar with it, and really I do everything in pretty much now in the attribute wrangles because I understand how like the data underneath works, and so I can just put the functions to do it. So what you're going to see here is you're going to see these prim intrinsic attributes, and so what we're doing is we're going to line them up by name because we've kept the name throughout this process, and the names are here, so we're going to match by name. And then so what you're going to see is this prim intrinsic attribute. Well, if I go over here and on the spreadsheet and I go to intrinsics, let's go. I'm just going to show the pivot, and I'm going to show the transform, and that's all I really need. But for pack primitives, you have a bunch of these attributes. Now the transform attribute is the rotation matrix, and the pivot is what the pivot, you need the pivot to offset the piece so you calculate the transform properly, and then you move it back. So what we do is we sample these attributes through the prim intrinsic function, and we can get the position just through a point lookup here. And so as you can see, I'm doing it on the points, and here it's 1-to-1. Your points and primitive numbers are exactly the same, so you can assign them with the ptnum attribute. So once I get those values, I simply assign them. I assign the transform, pivot, and position. So it's literally an attribute copy through the prim intrinsics. Now I'll show you the reason why. If we go, not to stretch out this video, but you know, there's the transform being calculated, and I found out that I actually needed the pivot because you can see these are off just a little bit. And so when I put the pivot, and when I copied the pivot, it worked. Alright, so that's the final video in this series. I plan on doing a lot more. And if you have questions, please speak up and let me know, because the only way these videos are going to get better is if you tell me. And also, if there's a certain thing you'd like to know, just put it in the comments of, hey, I'd like to maybe for you to do some pyro or whatever, and I'll put that up there. But I'm going to put my hardcore research projects and R&D stuff up that I end up doing. Alright, so thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day and happy learning.